lives are not defined by any one action. Our lives are the sum of our choices. Everything you are, everything you've done, has come to this.
When the need for certainty is absolute and the odds are deemed impossible, the mission falls to him.
Should he choose to accept?
And that was a clip from Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. And I am incredibly excited to say I'm joined right now by its director, Mr. Chris McQuarrie. Chris, how are we doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. In fact, I'm even better having watched this final outing for this. I'm a Mission Impossible completist, so I've watched them all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
big fan. But what I realized when I came out of the cinema was you've actually made my perfect family movie. And I don't think they'd probably describe this as a family movie.
Wow.
But I don't know about you, I've got kids that are 16, older one's nearly 20.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible to do anything together anymore that
Yes,
everybody
very
likes.
Very hard.
These films, different kettle of fish. We queue up, we're in, the four of us. So thank you for that.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. Thank you.
Where does
That's
this?
what we want.
Where does this stand in? So this is the fourth mission you've worked on, right?
The fourth I've directed.
Oh yeah, 'cause
I
you
worked
wrote
on Ghost Protocol as
You
well.
wrote on Ghost Protocol.
Yeah.
Uncredited.
Yes.
Yeah. Where does this stand in the four that you've shot, directed? Was this the most emotional, the easiest, the most challenging? Where would you put this? Where would you rank
The
this
most
one?
in every respect. You pick a word and it's the most. It was the most difficult, the most emotional, the most complex, the most physically demanding. It was all that and more. Every movie we make, we take what we learned and we apply it to the next. And these two movies, Dead Reckoning and The Final Reckoning, were being made in certain places at the same time and during a global pandemic and across two industry strikes. It was a perfect storm.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, you can feel the energy from the film. I had the same thing with part one. It's just that riveting. I guess they say, a human being evading death is, that's a timeless form of entertainment.
Yes.
Obviously, nobody does it better than Tom. What do you remember being the most challenging day?
There are many, I would say, were challenging in different ways. I think the submarine sequence, getting the submarine sequence, just understanding how to shoot it was extremely challenging because there is no metric for it. There's no instruction manual. And same thing with the aerial. We were doing things that had never been done, developing the camera rigs for those things and deciding what cameras to shoot and when, dealing with weather and dealing with planes that were almost 100 years old. And after you've shot with helicopters and F-18s, which are moving much faster, now you're trying to create energy with planes that are really only going not much faster than cars. And how to create energy and how to create danger out of that. And of course, the only way to do that was proximity. You had to fly low, very close to the ground and very close to things around you to create that energy. But then even some of the simpler things, the dialogue scenes, the emotion in those scenes was very, very challenging to get right.
It's funny you mentioned dialogue because there are a couple of moments, I think maybe more than two actually, where there's very pointedly no dialogue.
Yes.
It's just eyes.
Yes.
And again, like I say, I'm a bit of a completist. So I found everything incredibly emotional because I've been following these characters for so long.
Yeah.
But it's used in multiple ways. There's sometimes it's actually, this is an incredibly important moment. Other times you're almost bringing a levity to a different. I'm thinking of one scene in particular where you've got a confrontation with the number of the heroes and villains. And the whole thing is worked out what the next move should be through eyes.
Yes. I'm so glad you noticed that.
Oh, I loved it
very much.
I loved
one of my
it.
favorite scenes in the movie.
It was probably mine, apart from Trammell. I think Trammell, the screening I was in.
He is a star.
Wow, the screening I was in, laughter across the board, every word he said.
Which is amazing because he's not a comedic role. But he has such presence, he has such power. And I remember the first time we tested the movie and he walked on screen and said his first line, and it absolutely killed. And you felt someone becoming a star right in front
He's
of you.
unreal.
He's really a
He's
sensational
unreal.
actor. Love Trammell.